Yeah, well, hi there, folks. Welcome back to my channel. Hope each and every one of you are still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. And you know how it goes. Nice, beautiful, sunny day, winter's day here in South Africa. So, yeah, I would actually like you all to take a moment and appreciate how blessed we really are. Been talking to a couple of people, and yeah, I'm truly blessed having a massive garage and place to work, and yeah, even a erf, or I don't know what you will call this, but even a house of my own and cars to drive, and hey, even bikes to go fast with. So yeah, what did you just see? Well, you saw the blue busa. Oh, my child, and Nanny is playing. So yeah, what are we doing today? Well, I have to apologize. When you saw the video on the clutch, I already fixed the clutch. So yeah, today you find out what was wrong with the clutch, and yeah, at the end we should go for a nice test drive, test a couple of gears. All right, so let's get going. Alrighty there, folks, you know how it goes. Shout out to all the members slash sponsors of the channel. Just before we get to that, just want to say 39 days till the top ends. So yeah, 39 days left till the top ends, and minus 7 days to the Hayabusa Summit. I should actually start calling out the Hayabusa Summit also. Alright, but we will work something out. Alright, so yeah, all the movers and shakers. Oh, I said it and I can't say it again. So this guy, Tashavir Main, sorry my man. He won a free membership in the last live chat last week. Remember, if you're checking now and it's premiering, there's live chat. Go join us, talk along, say hi, say whatever. Yeah, all right. So he was the winner of the live chat last week, and then we had a couple of new ones. So Leonard Lampkins was a winner of the live chat previously, and yeah, he's the second guy only to join after his membership expired. So he joined Nitro Level 2. So Leonard Lampkin, thanks my man, thanks for joining. And then we've got two new normal aspirated members, Jan Blikkies. I think he's from Ladysmith or somewhere. Huh? Shout out to you, my man. Thanks for joining. And then this one is also a difficult one, but Leo Dorio Dean Dreit. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Maybe it's something simple, but I don't know. So yeah, he also joined. If you are a member and you don't want me to write your name like this is the way YouTube shows your name. So you can just comment or send me a message or something and I can change it. But yeah, all the members, thank you for supporting the channel, and if you want to become a member, come and join. It means a lot. It helps me make better content for all of you. And yeah, enough of me yapping. Let's get to the movie. All right, folks. I did tell you this video was gonna start the way the previous one was gonna end, or the way the previous one ended, something like that. So yeah, I want to know what's going on with that clutch. Why was it slipping? There you check, I already removed the bolts. Just need to get a rag for underneath because I did not drain the oil. I first want to see what is going on inside. So you get to see what I see. As I say, haven't removed it yet. This is first time. Let's see what's going on. Oh, shucks. Okay, so we got a bit of oil. So you can see I really did not. Let me just put that there. Take it off beforehand to check anything. What you see is what I see. Okay, so we'll put the gasket there. And what I see is, I didn't see nothing yet. We're gonna have to remove everything. So yeah, the clutch wouldn't be too bad. Something, either one of the plates are bent or something in the line of that. Something is wrong and I'm not sure what. So let's put the Allen key here. Check these bolts. Tight. That one was tight. One was tight. Okay, super tight. Okay, so at least we can say none of the bolts backed out. Hopefully I didn't just unwind them from the bottom. And yeah. So I know the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to loosen all of them a bit, not just remove them like I did in the previous video. But the previous video, the clutch was already gone, so it didn't make a difference. But yeah, this one, hopefully the clutch isn't gone. So I'll remove them like this. Okay, you don't really want to see me unscrew bolts here, so let me I'll just remove the bolts and I'll show you what we are working with. Alright folks, I just removed the screws, did a couple of things, stopped the oil from leaking out, got a rag, got the tools. I haven't taken anything off yet. You will be, as I say, the first with me to see what's going on. I have a suspicion what happened was I was in quite a hurry. Did you see where that one went? I heard it. It's gone. It fell all the way to north. Oh, there it is. Come here. Almost thought it went to Narnia. Alright. So my suspicion is, because I didn't sandblast the steel plates, I have a suspicion they were glazed and I didn't take the glazing off. So that's my suspicion. Okay, first impressions. At least you can see the clutch hasn't exploded. It only slipped like 3 times. Okay, nothing major, nothing serious. Okay, just get another rag, put those plates on, and we can start removing the plates and see. As I say, what I think happened was, if we get to the metal plates and they are chrome, then we know they were glazed, or maybe one or two were warped and I didn't see that. Okay, so if you check the clutch plate, some black spots. Actually, I don't know why it's dry, eh? I put it in with a lot of oil, but okay, fine. Of course, I hope you saw what I saw now. So there's the first metal plate, and normally the ones that will slip will be these ones on the sides. Oh my soul. I'm starting to get the feeling something else is wrong here. Okay. Nothing major. Second steel plate. So maybe I've got a steel plate that's bent. But nice. I would be able to see that. No signs of pretty much anything, eh? Fiber plate. Apart from the fact that they are dry, and you saw me put them in looped.
Kom nou. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you off, or I'm going to put you in the stand so I can use both my hands, eh? That'll actually be nice now, because I'm struggling. Okay, hold on, let me put you in the stand. Okay, I'm back. Zoom it out a bit because I cannot see if I'm showing you what I'm seeing. I'm looking at the plates and then I see, hey, the camera's looking at the floor. Nice, eh? Okay. Comment down below if you see anything, because I don't see anything. They're not chrome as I suspected they would be if they were glazed. Yeah. Am I dreaming? What's going on here? So the black spots I see in the clutch plate is probably just something inside the fiber. Yeah. You know, folks, you saw this thing slipping on the dyno. What's going on here? There must be some sign or something. Nothing. Oh, my living soul. Nothing. Okay, this is now starting to take too long, eh? It's steel plate. It even still has the way I sanded it, marks on it. Fiber plate. Nothing. Steel plate. Not even signs of slipping, eh? That's weird. Nothing. 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 Why is my tool not working? This should be the last plates. Steel plate. Not even heat spots or anything. Oh my soul. Last one, folks, last one. So yeah, did you see anything wrong? Even in the previous video when I did the clutch, did you see anything I did wrong? Because now I'm scratching my head. This one had a bit of slippage, nothing major. Check there at the back. Nothing. Oh my soul. Is my shaft broken off? Is my basket? No, nothing. Okay, give me a second or two to figure out what the hell. This clutch looks fine, but it's slipping. Let me check a couple of things. Hold on. Alright folks, been on the phone for a couple of hours, busy talking, figuring out, finagling, tuning.
and this is gonna get technical. Oh, so bad. All right, so the reason why nothing looks as bad as it should look, or whatever, is the only thing we can think I did wrong was my stack height my clearances was too tight. And the problem with that was something we didn't foresee, and I'll show you that quickly. If I take this and just take that washer out. So remember, this thing is welded, no? Just for reference. So if I hold it like this, you will see there's a little dimple, but there's also one. The thing is, there was only one dimple. That's a new one. That's a new one that got worn in, let's say, since yesterday when I started, or when we were at the dyno. It wore in that dimple. So what's supposed to happen is this, if you put this on there and the clutch is on and everything, this thing shouldn't bottom out to that thing. There should be an air gap. Doesn't have to be big, but there shouldn't be one. So what happens is now there isn't an air gap because it bottoms out. When it bottoms out, it means my clutch stack wasn't high enough. So it was supposed to bottom out to the clutch, not to the bottom, where it made that little dimple. As I say, my clearance wasn't enough. So yeah, let's go to the technical point of it. If I put this in, and I don't put it on the right one, where that dimple is, because I still don't know, I still need to find that out. If you check it, if I turn it, you see it wops. It's because if I do like this, you see it's now supposed to be bottomed out, but it's not, because it's pressing against that, whichever one is the welded one. That is I actually think I know. I think it's that one over there. You check it. So that's like, yeah, if I have to guess, it's not a lot. Maybe 0.5 millimeter it sticks out. But yeah, that makes that whole thing go like that. So I'll grind it. I will grind, whatever. I will remove that little point. Check it again, because maybe if I remove that point, some other point will be in the way of it. Maybe not. Maybe will be good and golden, because it's just around these pins that you need to be clear. So obviously there, and here. Okay, it can even be here. This one, okay, this one is much bigger, eh? So I think rather it's maybe that one, but even that other one I showed you can also be, but I'll grind it down. So yeah, the way you check your stack height or work it out, let's get technical. If you can put this on, flush, put the springs in, then it'll be as tight as it can be. That's the most play you'll have. So what you do then is you can use a vernier or whatever measuring tool you've got. You use the back side. So you go in, you bottom it out against the back plate, and then you move your vernier all the way so you in line with the front plate. Okay, that's too much. This is just for reference sake. And that focus is the amount you've got, so you just check and you see it's about 50, but that's not measured correctly. If you've got 50, then you take all your, I already put them back in oil, all your fiber plates. There's 10 of them. All of them are 3 millimeters thick, so 10 times 3 gives you 30 millimeters. And then you take all your steel plates and you measure them. These ones measure at this moment at 18.9. So 18.9 plus that 30 means we are at what? 48.9. So we short 1 point something millimeter for that whole setup to be together, because if your stack height is less than, let's say that's 50, but it's not 50, it's less than that, it'll mean your clutch isn't engaging. So yeah, that's how you check your stack height and everything. What we'll do is there's 2mm plates in here. I will change them at this moment. I'll put 2.3s in and 2.4s in to increase this so it's at least at 20 mils, and I don't know what the stack height is at the moment. I'll check it once I've ground all that down and we know where it's supposed to be. I'll check it where it is now, and I'll check it where it's after it's grounded, because we'll score another half a mil or a millimeter. So yeah, it wasn't a big problem. It was actually something I did. Not a train smash. As I said, I did check the stack height and everything, and I was within clearance. I didn't think about that little dimple in the bottom. So if that wasn't there, the clutch wouldn't have been slipping. And because it only slipped 3 runs on the dyno, we didn't abuse it. So that's why the plates and everything looks fine, because yeah, they weren't abused. So yeah, if we can get this clutch back on and everything back in place, what I'll do is we won't go to the dyno. We will somewhat take it on the road, and I'll show you what she does when she's on the road. So yeah, hold on for that. Let me figure all this out, and I'll show you once I figured it out. Okay folks, I removed it. So you saw there's a dimple and then there's a dimple. Well, what I could pick up was there. Definitely, you can check. It's nice and shiny, and this side's fine, but there also, there where my thumb is also, and if you check it like this, you will see it protrudes a lot. So don't worry about these welds over here, they don't come close. It's only those little rings that come around these places. So yeah, I'll quickly ground down those two. I'll show you once I'm done, and at least then we can put this back in and know that is fine. Okay folks, yeah, check it. I ground everything down that was in the way. Probably not the prettiest, but yeah, so that clears now. We'll put everything back together and I'll give you the correct stack height and we can work from there. Alright folks, long story, very short. Let's not make a real big thing about it. I messed up. My clutch stack should have been 50.2. That's the steel plates with the fiber plates. And mine was, I can't remember, but I had, if you are 50.2, you have 2.4 millimeters worth of play. And I only had 0.9 millimeters worth of play, which would have been enough if it wasn't for that high spots down there. So that high spots ate into that 0.9 millimeter gap I had, or which should have been enough. That wasn't enough. So yeah, my clutch stack wasn't big enough. So what I did now is I added steel plates to bring the clutch height back to the 50.2 it's supposed to be. The fiber plates is in the oil. The steel plates I had sandblasted and cleaned and everything. I'll quickly dip them in the oil and we'll reassemble this whole clutch assembly. I'll maybe show you that, I'm not sure, but put it all back together and yeah, then we can check if this clutch is good or yeah, if there's still issues. So yeah, just wanted to confirm that. Let me put it back together. Alrighty folks, so yeah, the clutch is back in. And the only difference I can obviously see is if you go back to where I disassembled it, this gap here is considerably less. So yeah, now if we put this back together, those high spots that were there aren't there anymore in any case. So even that is sorted at the moment. And let's just get that right. So yeah, even when I put it like that, the back plate is loose, which it's supposed to be because the springs aren't pulling it tight at the moment. You see I already made the first mistake. The last clutch plate should be offset. And trust me, it doesn't do anything, but I notice it and it bothers me, so yeah, that's why we sort it out. Cool beans. So I'll quickly put the springs and stuff back in, then we can check the free play and yeah, put it back together and go take it for a spin or something. Okay, let me stop yapping and finish assembling. Alright folks, again, you can go check the previous video, but check there. If I pull the clutch, check the amount the stack moves. Yeah, looks much better. So we hope so. Let's hope this clutch holds now and everything, and yeah, okay, I'll put the cover on and we can start reassembling everything to go and take this bike for a spin and see what the clutch feels about then. Alright, so let me put the covers and stuff back on and everything can live in its place. Alright folks, so this is my view on the bike, and I should have actually have done this before I took it to the dyno the previous time to check the clutch, because you would feel it's taking too far or something, but I didn't. I was in a hurry, I'm sorry. So yeah, check the new rev counter setup. The blue is nice, but I think I like the red. Yeah, I don't know, let's see. So yeah, first start with the new clutch. Neutral, but that's fine. All right, she feels good. I think we should put some of her clothes back on and take her for a spin. I think that'll be nice. All right, so let's do that. Okay folks, so you saw in the intro, and now at the end of the video you see the bike again. My daughter's running around, Tilly is waiting to take the camera, and yeah, I'm talking on a nice little mic sponsored by Marius. Thank you, Marius. So you will see there's a nice clear screen on the bike now. There's a shift light. I didn't show you that I built a lovely bracket and everything. Hopefully you can see everything at the back there. All the wiring is done, tucked away. All the necessary stuff is in place. Boost gauge, vacuum air pressure gauge, USB, and check even a nice little bracket for the on-off switch. So yeah, before we go test drive the bike, I'm quickly going to give the camera off to Tilly so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see I'm in my Power Ranger uniform and my daughter Gracie. Nie vir nie, jy maak stof. Any case, I'm in my Power Ranger uniform and it finally fits me. The ones of you that's been following the journey, since January, I've lost about 20 k's, plus minus, give or take. So, yeah, for all you New Zealanders out there worried about me doing top ends in a t-shirt. Well, I bought this when I was about to come to your site, so I've got the Power Ranger outfit and it fits again. So hopefully I'll do a run or two with the Power Ranger outfit. Otherwise, just go back to the t-shirt. Alright, so enough of me yapping. Let's go test drive the bike. Oh, shucks. Okay. Alright folks, I don't know if you can see it, I just came back now from that run, and if you saw to the end, she was a bit splattery, like I am gonna pull the data and make sure, but the closer I came to home, the worse it got. I think I know what the problem is, but in the next video we will do more runs and dive deeper into the data, what we're looking at and everything. So the runs now, I haven't even seen if the GoPro took speed with it. I'll check it. So if you check down there, if you check down there, there's no fuel. So yeah, I must keep that in consideration, because I didn't fill up the tank before I went on my happy go ride now, and it was about 10-15 k's. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I ran out of fuel, but we'll check that in the data, make sure that's what it is. Check in the data if the clutch held, if the wheels spun. We can check everything like that in the data. But yeah, that's something we'll keep for the next video. Dankie Gracie. Sê hallo vir die mense.
Hallo.
Ja, jy moet hier sê hallo. Bye vir hulle. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Hope each and every one of you is still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. And I hope He blesses each and every one of you more than we need, more than we deserve. So yeah, see you guys maybe next Tuesday on this one, maybe the other one, I'm still not sure. We'll just check how it goes and all that, like a groceries. So have a blessed week, and thanks for watching, sharing, subscribing and everything. Yeah, alright, enough yapping. See you. Alright, goodbye. Okay folks, quick spoiler alert for the future Ines here. Or it's future Ines, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So if you check the footage, I had a chance to check it and review everything. You will think the clutch was still slipping, or maybe there was some slip in the clutch. Well, I checked the data and everything. So for the next video, it's going to be a hell of a technical video. I'll show you the difference between that seat and that seat. And yeah, lots of technical stuff. I'll show you on the laptop what we check and everything. And explain everything. How the 20Ks I lost and the place where I'm sitting and everything now creates wheel spin instead of clutch slipping. Alright, yeah, that's just future me. Never mind what I tell you now, just check out for that video. It's going to be a hell of a technical one. Alright, God bless you all.